Tell this guy he doesn't need to hear us.
Yeah, you can hear us.
I mean, he doesn't need to. I'm just saying.
I can't hear you.
All right, guys. Welcome back. We're here week 3. Damn, I wish I had a camera guy, man. I'm telling you. I just need a camera guy. We'll see what happens. I got 2 special guests here and 1 missing B-Weeks. B-Weeks, I know you're a little sad and depressed because you're not here, but we understand that you're a little sick and we want you to get better. COVID's running around, I heard. You got to be careful, guys. Seriously. I have children. So if you guys are sick, stay away. But you can hop on live with us because we're going to talk fantasy week 3. Let's start. First off, what the fuck? That's all I got to say. I'm just slightly disappointed. Again, we're going to go through our scores. We're going to go through the injuries. We're going to go through the players. We're going to go through our waiver wires, our matchups. And this week, we won't go through Brian versus Richard. We'll check the scores possibly. But we'll have to do that second one on the side. We had made it actually to where we would change the teams. Only 2 waiver wire picks. So we got to keep. I had to keep my crappy team, and I only got to change 2 players out. So I think it's a little bit more interesting and a little different this time. So I like the way that it's set up. Just saying. All right, let's run on in. How did we feel about Thursday night's game? Anyone want to chime in?
Shit, that was so long ago now. Who was playing? Jets and Patriots?
Yeah, the Jets went out there to look like
I think
the team that they are.
I think Aaron Rodgers looked prime vintage Aaron Rodgers. I think they're going to be a force to reckon with over there in the AFC East.
Honestly, that team, if it does start clicking and everything goes right, it takes one good hit. I think it takes one good hit and you're back. You know, like with a backup quarterback. How?
Oh, yeah, look at the Miami Dolphins.
How? Damn.
Too soon.
Too soon. Too soon. Too soon. Too soon. Dude. Oh, the hate. The hate. Jeez. I mean, look, I think it's interesting to just kind of see the Patriots team take a little bit of a plunge. I feel like they're better. They know that they're better. But maybe the Jets are like, yeah, we're going to come back in. I think it's funny watching the show and listening to Aaron Rodgers talk about everything and what they were doing and how they were, accomplishing what they were doing. And he was like, I think he makes a good point as well when he's talking about how it's just week 3. So he said teams are like getting into their groove of things, whether they're, championship returners or the Jets, because he was talking about predicting the future going, after losing so terribly to the San Francisco 49ers. Shouts out.
And to add to that, most of these players do not play any preseason, especially nowadays.
Dude, the preseason is really what's messed up.
Yeah, and so the first 3 weeks is like their preseason. So you're going to have
where the fuck is Hassan Reddick? You know what I'm saying? You're not speaking of Jets. Where the fuck is Hassan Reddick?
Yeah, that was a dumb move by the front office. That whole off-season shenanigans.
So much money. Can't be doing that, man. You can't be doing that. Can't be paying that much money. Look, I get it. But on the flip side of things, you got to play ball. You got to, how are you going to get respect? How are you going to, I don't see, how do you bounce back from that too? You you're just done, no?
On what? The Hassan Reddick?
Yeah,
As a
like,
player and how he
yeah, like, it just seems destructive too.
You guys do know we're talking about the Patriots, right?
What?
You're acting like they beat Kansas City or one of the powerhouses. It was
Look,
Patriots.
I understand.
True.
I understand you have your concerns, but the matter of the fact is they are still a team.
Salah at the end of the game.
I
Oh,
think
he
that's-
said that's just some like Aaron stuff. I feel he's like, look,
And I think because it's Rodgers, people will make a big deal about it.
yeah, it's like, come on.
I don't think it was anything all too crazy to be worried about.
Neither do I. I just think it's one of those like, look, like I get it. Like we're doing solid, but like chill, bro. We had literally just started. This is week 3 again. Going back to that,
He literally said, "We just beat the Patriots." That's it, bro. Calm
Yeah.
down.
he said we got lucky. So what did you get lucky about? That's my question. I mean, it looked like you guys played a really good game. I don't think that it was luck. What was luck was a Giants game. 21-15. Did anyone get to see that game? Did anyone get some intel on that game?
I didn't pay close attention to it.
I did not
wasn't-
either. That's an unfortunate thing, and I apologize.
Yeah,
But
do better.
Man, those teams both, like, it's interesting the way that the Browns were kind of being predicted. Obviously, the Giants and their shitty mess, everything going on in that organization. Well, I just what's next? What's coming next? You know, they gotta win. They gotta win. I didn't expect that to come next. Definitely expected some Browns to show up, but no. Unfortunately, the next game with the Bears and the Colts, I feel like the Bears should have pulled off an upset. I mean, let's give it to the Colts for getting that first dub. I wish Brian was here in the chat. Don't forget to join us on YouTube live. I mean, good job, Colts. First off, second off, the Bears quarterback, man, is he gonna get better? Does anyone think he's gonna?
I think so. You know, I was reading and listening to things. There's such a problem with, I think, the development level between college and the NFL.
Oh yeah,
You can get away with a lot in you know, they grow up.
Is it really that much? Is it really that different? Is he really just doing the same things and you're expecting a different result type of stuff?
Yeah, because he got away with so much. Even just growing up and playing, he was always the best, and even up in college, he was the best. So he could get away with a lot, and they were successful. But you get to the NFL, you know, you're playing the best of the best at that point.
The best of the best of the best.
Exactly. So what you got away with in college doesn't necessarily and won't always translate over to the NFL, and that's a kind of a development thing.
Are we going to talk about the fact that he threw 52 times? 52 times. He still managed to get 363 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's shocking.
He threw
That Caleb
52 times.
52 times.
and 350. I think more shocking is the 350 yards, because if I remember correctly, that game did not look like a quarterback went for 350
He
yards.
did have 2 interceptions too, but is that really a quarterback issue or is that a system issue?
What part?
The fact that he's throwing 53 times.
Just all those passes is that like is that in
Well, I didn't
house
ca-
different?
I didn't
Like,
catch all the game. Were they down a lot? Like kind of like Dak was. I mean, Dak threw 51 times,
That does make
but
sense.
he was down
huh?
28-3 in most of the game, so you would have to pass. I don't think the Bears and Colts got that
Unless the
ugly.
Colts have that solid D baby and just stop the run. So
The
they have
leading
it back,
rusher for the
but-
Bears, Johnson, only 8 carries for 30 yards. So is that the problem?
8 carries for 30 yards.
Yeah, I would love to see
How
their
many-
total offensive.
Was it how many? Yeah,
rushes.
That's
Did
interesting.
he have all of them?
I'm sure there's a couple other ones, but still,
But
if
it-
he
you-
had to
you-
throw the ball 53 times, you
You're
drop
not
back
running.
53 times, you're going to get hit. You're going to
Yeah.
get sacked. You're going to make mistakes. That's a rookie.
Especially as a rookie. Heck, friggin' someone like Aaron Rodgers drops back 50 times, it could be not good. So I can only imagine a rookie putting that kind of pressure on a rookie. So that is interesting. If the game wasn't out of hand like in the Dallas game, I don't see why you would need to throw 51 times. That's kind of ridiculous.
Because the playbook, that's another thing.
Yeah, but I don't think that playbook.
Did he check a lot into a pass? That's like a lot of.
I don't know if he's reading NFL defenses in his first year, being able to check like that.
That's what I'm saying. So we need an expert here. I have a Bears fan that I need to call upon. Taylor, if you're there, man, I need your help. He knows his squad better than anyone, I think. So I'd love for you to chime in, give me some more advice on this Bears-Colts game or just the Bears in general.
So in comparison, Richardson threw 20 times.
So yeah, he threw 30 more times than.
But Jonathan Taylor ran it for 23 times for 110 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
So it was obviously a lot more balanced on the Colts side. So it doesn't seem like based on that, it doesn't seem like the game was so lopsided. Because if the game was lopsided, then you would see a lot more runs and passes on the Colts side. But because that was balanced, then I don't see a reason they need to throw 50 times. They were never down that much that they needed to throw 50 times.
Would you expect that to be, though, because as I'm looking at his fantasy points weren't too wild. They were for Caleb Williams.
Oh, okay.
I think it was still in like the high 25.
Well, I mean, yeah, he threw 52 times, only completed 33 passes, but still 33 passes completions in one game. That's still pretty good.
It's wild. That's a lot of throwing. So I don't know. I think it is that's got to be a coaching error. So again, calling upon my buddy, we will get him here in following weeks. Like, I love to have more of you guys in. To be able to chime in, because I don't know it all. I can't do it all. I'm just here for you guys, as well as, Brian. He's got the knowledge, man.
And he was probably the one that really watched that game, too, because he's a Colts fan. So he could give the one time we really want. Exactly. The one time we really want a Colts game analysis, and he's gone. You should call him. Call him up, see if he'll talk on air. Just call him up and put him up to the mic, see what he has to say.
Jeez.
Just cold call him. That'd be hilarious.
We're gonna get it eventually, where we got people that are gonna join in. This is still the serious of our first run, and we're gonna need you guys to join along with us as best as possible. All right, let's continue. Texans, Vikings. What's up, bro? What's going on with
Houston taking their first loss?
Yo, the Vikings 3-0, baby.
Yeah, I think there's only like 4 teams left. I'm not even a Vikings
fan, but like I'm starting to become like a Sam Darnold fan, and I can't hate it, but damn, bro, like JJ, like keep going, bro. Like, I don't know, watching Justin Jefferson is wild.
Yeah, I always knew Sam Darnold had it in him. His first 2 organizations were the Jets and Panthers. Those are, I mean, you could take a Hall of Famer to those teams and not do well. So I don't think anybody really got to saw how good he was.
Tough. Could you? You put a Hall of Famer on a shitty team, that makes a difference. I mean,
one person. I don't think so. I think football is too much of a team sport.
Well, we are gonna.
We're gonna talk.
We're gonna get there, buddy.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna talk that hypothetical.
No, this is reality, and I wish he could also join us. And again, when we get calling down, we're gonna have guests in. Anywho,
but anyway, I'm not as shocked with what Sam Darnold is doing. I'm an avid college football watcher, so I saw what he was able to do at SC for a few years. So I just knew it was just a matter of time, and to get on a quarterback guru team like KOC is, and then to really break out on a Kyle Shanahan team, which he did last year. It's not surprising the past 2 teams he's had he's done really well for.
Man, did the Vikings D really show up like as best they could, or did the Texans offense just not show up in that game?
Well, I all I know is Stephon Diggs had a good game.
He did. And
I
think
drafted him, and he
interesting.
finally decided to put up
'Cause
I
he
think
did
20 points
what?
at least. So
CJ Stroud had a solid game, but still had one of the INTs. I think there was a couple takeaways. So I think that defense of the Vikings showing up. I mean,
you saw
3-0,
what they did to
man.
the Niners.
Here's the stat. Houston ran it for 14 times for 38 yards.
Yeah, stop.
That's a run stopping defense, right?
Yeah.
That is.
And when you stop the run,
and
you
Houston-
don't get pass options. You
And
have to-
Houston's no joke at running back with Joe Mixon, so it's not some chump running back there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bastards. Eagles, Saints. Saints should have won.
Saints
Should have won.
Saints put up what 90 points in the first two games, and they put up what 7.
Saints should've-
What was
How did this become a defensive struggle?
especially when as an offense when you put up 90 points in the first two games and you can't put up a touchdown.
Who shat the bed more? Saints? Was it the Saints? Is it the Saints? It's the Saints, huh?
I think so, based on their first two games. I mean, putting up 90 points and then putting up almost nothing in a full game. I think if you had to pick
ridiculous.
someone that shit the bed, I think that offense shit the bed.
It did. I would go with the Saints. Should have pulled together a dub. They did not. I feel like they dropped the ball on that one. Huge. The Eagles had so many opportunities, but penalties. I actually got to watch this one a little bit more. All those penalties, and then little slip-ups.
What's also interesting is, I don't know, Philadelphia fans might be getting tired of Sirianni. Because
So I heard as well.
with the whole thing with the Falcons, and then in this game, the not taking 3 points, especially in this season, it seems like it is the year of the kicker. I mean, where previous years you wouldn't kick the field goal that close.
Not
you
even
would go for it, but now I mean
the kickoff too.
Yeah.
That too.
So the Eagles had 20 first downs versus 12 first downs for the Saints.
Yep, that's about right because the Eagles kept getting backed up too. So they'd have to get chunk plays to either get those yards back or other stuff. Because they were moving that ball, but then different things really stopped them and killed the momentum in a lot of their drives. And as you said with Sirianni doing his whole, yeah, let's go for it, my guys. Yeah. It's going to definitely put you in a different kind of a hole. And wild enough, I don't know. I felt like the Saints were just not in it on that one, or just how the pressure on it. I don't know. Saints should have went 3. Eagles should have dropped. But Eagles are 2-1. Saints are 2-1. Chargers Steelers though. I know it's a little difficult. You guys can't see it.
Who Steelers won that game, right?
I got you.
Yeah, that didn't surprise. I'm pretty sure their defense was still pretty solid. I've been playing them all year in fantasy. That defense, the Patrick Queen and T.J. Watt and they're solid defense.
I mean, look,
Joe Alt went down. That's huge. That's massive. He was a top 5 pick. I think number 4 overall. I think for the Chargers, and he played for Harbaugh in college. Won the national championship with Harbaugh. Comes to the NFL, plays. So that's kind of a bummer if you're a Chargers fan.
Tell you what though, Harbaugh's gonna lead that team to do some interesting things. I said they're gonna hit that playoff berth. Herbert's gonna get injured though. So
Well, I think he's still injured. He got injured again in that game too.
So
I think he already had an ankle issue coming into it. He was questionable.
he's
and
just
he
gonna
actually
have to
left
play
too.
with what he's got, type of shit.
Well, who? Herbert or like Harbaugh? What do you mean?
Harbaugh.
Oh, okay.
I mean Herbert. Yeah, I guess you know. What
I
I'm
mean
saying?
Herbert if he can, because he did the rib thing. I think he had a thumb issue a year or two ago too. So
Everyone's got a thumb issue. Come on. Jeez.
But-
Hey, don't forget to join us live on YouTube. Seriously though, I'm excited for what the Steelers are gonna have coming for them. like, what's up with this season? And Justin Fields is
So here's the thing to ponder. I mean, do we? I know Russell's not fully healthy, but do you keep the hot hand of Justin Fields, or do you go to Russell Wilson, the vet, who you kind of brought him in there for? Because all off season long when they got him was he was starter, he was pole position.
Hold him.
You mean keep Field in?
Fuck yeah.
JF2 baby.
Fuck yeah.
I'm glad
not?
he's finally doing successful because. Again,
Why not,
watch
right?
college and saw him in college, and
Demoralizing.
he was in that Bear organization that wasn't
Demoralizing
good.
as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Imagine rolling 3-0 with the same quarterback, just because, right? It's the same thing. Let's say like Purdy's situation, or just give or take anyone. When you just start rolling like that, and then let's say Wilson comes back in and he is your guy. That's demoralizing to take not only who you have
mean
not had
for
reps
Justin Fields,
with
it's demoralizing
as well, but
Yeah.
for the team, like
Yeah,
you're gonna take that solid because of money, because they're not paying him garbage, right?
no, they're
Like,
paying them the vet minimum, which is like $1 million.
Yeah, so it's like, hey,
and
we're
you know,
gonna have you on the sideline anyways, right? And you're injury prone, so maybe when the time comes, I mean, in camp or in practice, I really hope they do give him those reps. But obviously, Fields is getting those reps right now, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, hold on to him as a possible ace. Just make sure he's ready when the time comes.
Yeah.
It's like hold Fields in. Yeah, hold that hot hand. You're 3-0, bro. You're
Yeah,
3-0.
and kind of on that 3-0 sentiment, like there's chemistry. I think chemistry is a true thing on a team, especially in a team sport like football. So if the chemistry is there with the receivers, with the rest of the locker room,
Huge.
why the old adage, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Right now, 3-0 ain't broke.
Aaron Rodgers.
3-0 is not broke.
Aaron Rodgers is trying to fix what he had broken. He's doing a good job, and then Russell's just got to sit back and watch Justin actually put together something that was kind of broken. Sucks, bro. We take so long talking about our games. It's okay. I like talking about our shit. Right now, we're going hot. We're going hard. We're going Broncos, Bucks. How did this game end?
Oh, the Broncos killed the Bucks.
How did the
Bo
Bucks
Nix
start off solid and then walk into that? They walked into that shit.
I know, yeah, with how good they started, and they were a playoff team last year, and then they go into Denver, but
Tampa
I mean,
Bay.
that was probably the most shocking.
I think so.
Well,
I think
actually, yeah, no, it was the
I
most
think
shocking.
it does make a little sense, though. Given what you need, let's say a blank piece of paper, and you have dots that are already there, Sean Payton has been connecting the dots. And what's crazy is Joe Mixon is that blank piece of paper. So I feel like...
Wait.
I feel like... What?
Joe Mixon.
I'm sorry. Bo.
Bo Nix, yes.
Bo
Okay, I was about to say Joe Mixon's in Houston with D'Amico.
Words.
It's like...
Bo Nix.
This guy has a podcast and he can't speak.
Words.
All right.
I feel like he's a piece of paper, and that guy is just connecting the dots with him. So we'll continue to see defense wins games. Period. So
Amen,
offense
brother.
helps as fuck, right? With that 26, like anything over 20 is tough, right? I mean, we got some high scoring games, but that's because some defenses failed. Kind of like the Titans are 0-3 right now. And John ain't got shit to talk to me because he still be trying. He'd be like, hey, man, Niners are 1-2. I bitch, you guys haven't won a game. Also, Jordan Love is still not in.
Yeah, but do they really need him at this point? I mean, don't you want to get him
is
healthy? Because, I mean, Malik Willis is...
Which is wild.
Malik Willis is going off.
Exactly.
And he went off against the Titans, as the Titans are the ones who traded him.
How long do you play that hot hand?
I think you do the same thing like Justin Fields. If you're winning football games, I mean, and Jordan Love's not 100%. no, or not, or even if he's near 100%, don't play him. Play that hot hand. But as soon as Jordan Love is 100%, you need to put Jordan Love back in.
I'm getting like chills. Like, man, like what, you know?
Hey guys, Green Bay rushed for 188 yards versus 33 yards by the Titans.
Defense, baby.
Yeah.
Defense or just a sucky offense.
Well, you've seen
but
Titans. They have
that's a
some,
crazy
they have some Pollard in
differential.
there because I need Pollard to really run, and unfortunately, well, obviously you know who is there as well. You know, the coach. So I feel like on that in Green Bay, of course they know what they need to do. Will Levis, come on, as a quarterback.
Yeah, his own coach said, "What the fuck are you doing?" That was hilarious when I saw that. I think that was last week, not this past
The
game.
unfortunate part about that, though, is meaning that you're going to have to hold to a run game to try to open up something for your dipshit-ass quarterback to make it easy, right? Well, can't do that when Green Bay's stopping your shit by just loading the box. So I guess there's only one other option, and that's just to hope your defense is better than the other squad, and that was wrong.
And you know what's interesting about that Green Bay game is I have Jacobs on my fantasy team. That's the second, I think that's the second straight game where Green Bay had a big-time rush. I know he probably didn't do all the yards, but it's the second big rushing game for the Packers, and still Josh Jacobs did shit for me.
I know.
Shit.
Same.
Grade A shit.
I know. Wild. I was just
How do you
so
run?
shook.
I mean, you would think if you run for that many yards, majority of that is your running back one, and you would think there'd be maybe a touchdown in there, but it would is just ridiculous.
Maybe it's part of how his body's feeling too,
Leading rusher was Malik Willis,
which is
73 yards, 1 touchdown.
Thank you, Edgar, for stats.
I know he might have to be our stat guy.
Hey, bro.
I love him. I love him looking
why are
it
you
up.
chiming in more? Hey, let's go. Panthers, Raiders.
Hey, maybe he's a stat guy. Maybe he likes
I
the
was
stats.
so fucking disappointed. The
Dude.
Raiders let me the fuck down, bro. You see, I'm a Niners fan, but the Raiders let me down.
Dude, of course. After
This
what the
is
Raiders
the
did to
story.
what the Raiders did to the Ravens, and then they go and shit the bed against the Panthers.
This is
Of course,
the
it's the Raiders.
This is the story, though. Remember how we were talking about you put a Hall of Famer in there and they won't fucking win, right? Well, the Panthers didn't even have a Hall of Famer. They had Andy Dalton with a superstition of never being beaten by the Raiders. And homeboy comes out and places 36 on their defense, right? A defense that had been performing very well. And their shat-ass defense was able to hold Raiders to 22 points. Obviously, this game goes to the offense that was able to run circles around the Raiders somehow. One man, Andy Dalton. Tell me, all right, you got to defend your story now. How is it? You got one man that came in and changed the fucking script. They got a dub, bro. They got a dub, and they're happy. They're so excited.
I think how that helps is, first off, Andy Dalton's been in the league 15 years. I mean, so there's not much he hasn't seen.
He is
been
not
a
a
starter.
Hall of Famer, but he is.
No,
a
you're right.
vet.
Yeah, he's a good vet. So I mean, you have someone in there who played 19 games, and Bryce Young, and someone who's played 15 seasons or whatever, 12 seasons, whatever it is, definitely over 10.
Really, what they were really missing that missing key was. And if that's the case, like why didn't you pull that trigger earlier? You need to watch your boys get shitted on, but maybe I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Well, I think some of it was they wanted to try Bryce Young, Dave Canales and the Dan Morgan wanted to just see, because they invested a lot in Bryce, being a number 1 overall pick. So they wanted to see what he could do in their offense and maybe just give him a chance. But
I feel it. I mean, it's just still one of those things where it's like they said during preseason, watching him a little bit, that was that was going to be their guy and what they wanted to see. And then when push came to shove, it's like, oh well, he got shoved aside.
yeah, and I still have faith in Bryce Young. He wouldn't be the first, especially in recent years. He wouldn't be the first person to be shit in Carolina and go on to have a better career. 2 right off the top of my head.
Right.
Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. They both spent time in that shit organization. Baker, I mean, look what he did. He went to the Rams, was good that 1 or 2 games. Then he went over to the Bucs, took them to the playoffs, got that extension. Started off pretty well this year. So you can reinvent your career after having such a poor stint with the team.
Amen. I mean, Edgar, give us some stats on this game. Panthers, Raiders.
Yeah,
I want to see a man that's reviving his career right now. Give me some Andy Dalton. Give me some Dalton.
319 yards, 3 touchdowns.
319 yards. He's a dog. Oh man, we're not McAfee. I love McAfee.
Rushing yards.
We can mirror that. We can't be that. Can't be that. Only
rushing yards. The leading rusher for Panthers, 114 yards. Leading rushers for Raiders.
Who was the leading rusher for the Panthers?
Chuba
Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard, baby, coming back into the fold.
And White for the Raiders only did 34 yards.
Now, I wish I could have seen the kind of blocking. Was their O-line really doing some solid blocking? Or were the Raiders just trying to, what?
Who, the Carolinas offensive line?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting to take a deeper dive into, because I don't think the offensive line is different from than it was with Bryce Young. So
why is it all of a sudden that they're holding them perfectly to get runs in? Or are they running a different kind of scheme with Andy Dalton?
I don't think so. I think they're still running
so why is
the same offense.
So why is it successful?
I think that was part of the reason why they also went to the quarterback change, is because I think the coaches and management wanted to see if it was their offense and see, is it our offense that's the problem? Is it our offensive playbook? Is it our offensive scheme? And to me, that proved his success proves to me it's not the offensive scheme, because you wouldn't be successful if it was just the offensive scheme.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It definitely seems like it should have been a completely different game, in my opinion. I mean, I had their defense stacked ready to run. I was giddy. I'm like, bro, show this man what up, bro. Show him.
Why were you so into the Raiders?
Because they're playing the Panthers, bro.
But do you have fantasy? I mean,
yeah, I had.
It's weird for a Niner fan to go for a
exactly on fantasy.
Oh, you have them on their defense on fantasy.
Fuck the Raiders.
Dang, because they had been doing solid. Hey, that's I didn't do it. Because they had been doing solid, so I'm like, okay, these guys are coming back into the fold. No, the fuck they're not. Or I don't want to take credit from Panthers, but. Who fucking showed up, bro? Right? No?
Talking about showing up, guys. I apologize. I have to leave early. Duty calls. It was a pleasure being with you guys. But the side guy is out.
Wait, what are your duties?
Drops the mic and walks out. That's hilarious. There goes our stat guy going out the door.
Well, that was unexpected.
Well, he did tell us before we went on that he may have to leave in the middle of it.
Well, whatever. Unfortunate.
Yeah, get that solo shot on me, baby. Yeah. Give me that camera time.
I got my editor, me. Me. Producer, me. Director, me. And soundboard operator, Riyadh.
Hey, I have no problem doing this. I kind of have fun with
honestly, we
soundboard.
Appreciate you guys for joining us and watching our crazy cast. As best we can, we want to get you that information talk. We got to run through this a little bit quicker because I know we're getting stuck on just the beginning. But good God, it is so fun to talk about how wild some of these games were. I don't even want to talk about the Seahawks game. Riyadh.
Why not? Why not? We're going to skip over it, really?
Okay. You got 5 seconds.
There's really
5.
There was really nothing to talk
4,
about. Dolphins
3,
stink. They're on a third-string quarterback.
2.
2 is done for the
1
career.
All right. Well, how did you guys get through their defense? did they just have a terrible defense?
Yeah, that's interesting because they've had a good defense. I don't know if Geno is just better. DK Metcalf had another big game, especially for fantasy. I think he put up near 30.
Yeah, he did. He put up some solid numbers.
Yeah,
He wasn't in my top 10. My
Geno-
ESPN top 10.
Geno was okay.
Geno was in there, maybe.
I don't know. I guess probably their yeah. I want to say their defense, but again, look at who their defense was playing. I mean, second and third string quarterbacks aren't necessarily a difficult competition for an NFL defense.
You know, I would say yes, but I wouldn't say no as well. But you never know. Third string quarterback Brock Purdy came in and but he had a bunch of weapons and stuff. So
Yeah,
of course,
yes.
yeah.
The Miami doesn't. And Miami has Waddle and Tyreek.
But
that's
they
nothing
don't have
like
Raheem Mostert. They don't have.
They don't have
Achane.
McCaffrey.
They don't have.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, they have fucking people.
Sure.
Shut the fuck up.
You're
They
right.
have people. They have fucking running backs.
That's right.
They
That's
have
right. I
wide
forgot they were
receivers.
running backs.
They have weapons. I don't want to fucking hear your bullshit.
Good point. And they do come from their coach comes from that Shanahan tree, of course, and Mike McDaniel.
Yes, sir. Okay, we're almost done. Wait, this is the past weeks at the bottom, or I am on next week's. I think that's next week's schedule.
Dolphins, Titan. Yeah, it looks like it because the Dolphins just played the Hawks, and the Hawks are playing the Lions. That's next week.
Well, that's garbage.
That's Monday night, I think, actually.
That's funny.
Bottom two
Apparently, I
games.
messed these up. So, we actually had different games set in those slots. So,
All right, so
we're
we'll go to the
actually
next one.
we're gonna have to unfortunately
This should help
dial
our,
back
our time problem.
or
so
skip.
should save some time.
As much as I don't want to skip it, guys. We are in a little bit of a time crunch, but I want to be honest. The number one fantasy guy in here played. I just got to talk about the Niner game real quick. That was tough. I don't believe that it was anything specifically but a poor execution of who they are as a squad.
Great explanation of it.
I feel as though special teams need some help, for sure. Special teams need some help. You need some help in the tackling department because, good God, good fucking Lord, stop missing tackles in space. Huge. Tackles in space is what makes or breaks you from a guy going down or getting fucking 30, 40 yards. Ridiculous. You get bombed on if you can't tackle in space. So it's tough. Gotta work on that shit, man. Because right now, it looked atrocious. It looked very, very dismal. Thank you. Shanahan's interesting play calling. A lot of people I've watched that are into this, that watch every second of that man in his life, have more opinions than I do. Well, I don't know why they do what they do. I kind of understand.
Well, what were they questioning? I didn't hear that part.
His play calling towards the end about
Like with
just
what?
a lot of passes, not a lot of runs, just different things.
What do you think as a Niner fan and watching them pretty consistently? What do you think about it?
It's tough.
I mean, did he step away from what he normally does? What was?
When your defense is slacking, then you got to start like either producing points or turning up the or making that clock tick really. So when they really started giving up a lot of those deep plays, it was wild to see them just kind of lose a little bit of the momentum of the game. Just they should have just kept running the ball down their throats a little bit, I feel, enforcing their will and just kind of tiring their defense as best they could to make sure that if they needed chunk plays or whatever the case was, because they were getting them.
Was their running game able to do that as far as like you kind of wanted them to run it more. Was their running game being successful?
It was a little, and then it wasn't. They started to load it a little bit more, and sheesh. Let's see. With the stat man.
I know we lost our stat man. I liked where he was going with that. But yeah, as a Hawks fan, I enjoyed the football game that was the San Francisco Niners and Los Angeles Rams. I'll put that out there right now. It was a fun
right
game.
Kind of like a 50-50. See, they were more of a 50-50 on that game, and like their
So yeah, I don't see necessarily a problem with that. Like why you would get upset if they were 50-50. That's well balanced. That's a typical Shanahan offense. I mean, that's one of the big things from that Shanahan tree is a balanced offense.
A balanced offense for sure.
So I don't get fans.
I think the thing that they're upset about is when the balance came into play, right? They're like, if you're balanced, then go back to running them all.
Yeah. You know, there's coaches have tendencies, and even though balanced is a good thing, you're still predictable. Defenses know, okay, if they have 100 plays, most likely 50 of them are going to be passes, 50 of them are going to be. So you can adjust a defense to that. Not that many teams do it because they still win every fucking game they play.
We're also playing against our divisional rival.
Like twice a year, every year.
You know, if we had to chalk it down, the Niners have more wins than the Rams, I believe, against each other. And as far as the Niners losing, I feel as though.
Oops, that was my fat fingers. That's 100% on me. Hand up. Hey, it's a good tune.
Oh, we're getting copywritten so hard. That entire thing played. What a bullshit.
Hey, I didn't program the sound. I'm just playing them.
You're gonna have to catch me on a better day because I'm pretty sure that the Rams are still atrocious.
So if the Rams are atrocious, then what are the Niners?
Working things out.
Okay.
You'll get a Super Bowl sometime this century. Thank you.
Hey, who? Rams fans?
We got
fans?
it's
We both
me,
have 'em.
Waluigi in the chat. That's Corey right now. So Corey, good job for.
Has Corey
your
been here the whole
team.
time, or has he just hopped in when we're talking Rams?
He's been here for a little bit, but then
okay.
we were talking about Rams, and
That's funny. If he just
obviously-
hopped in, timed it perfectly to where we were talking about Rams Niners.
because he's a punk bitch, but it's okay. It's understandable.
Hey Corey, don't mind his insults. He's just mad. Just give him room.
Riyadh's insults are me. I'm an insult to him. Anywho, let's roll through our top fantasy players because that's why we're here, right?
Is it?
We're here to talk football, but
Really?
we do need
Is that what we
fantasy
do? I
help.
thought it was baseball.
No, the universe told me.
Oh, okay, good to know.
Week. Jaden Daniels here. Speaking of him, with 254 yards, 21 receptions, 3 TDs, 12 for 39 rushing. Homie was running. Completion.
Dropping
to attempt
bombs.
ratio 21 to 23. Only 2 drop balls. Only 2 passes not caught. That's pretty wild. That's pretty good. Nothing to say, Riyadh?
Again, what he's doing is not it's surprising he's doing it so early. I get that. But again, it's only week 3. The NFL does not have much tape on him. Once the NFL and defenses get more tape on him, I think they'll really shut him down or really bring him down, stoop him down to, bring him back to earth. But again,
you see this
it's
a lot in running quarterbacks?
Huh?
Do we see this a lot in like possible dual threat quarterbacks? That they always start out hot, being able to run, being able to like get out there, being able to like really like produce plays.
I mean, Lamar's been doing it his whole career.
Yeah,
He's gone down. Who's doing it now? There's one more quarterback. I mean, he doesn't run as much, but he can run. C.J. Stroud.
Strad ran a little. But
Yeah, but
depends when he has to. Purdy started to run a little bit more too. I was like, oh shit.
he got jocked in the off season.
I'm like,
I saw that this off season, like
I think
photos from like last season.
I
This
think
is
he
got
knew
jocked
too
properly.
that if he's going to be doing more of that like playmaker style, like, hey man, we gotta make this first down where I gotta get an opportunity going or such and such. I think he's like, I gotta get meatier because I'm gonna have to take some more hits. I know it, and this little scrawny body ain't gonna last. But anywho, Malik Neighbors had a good game as well with 78 receiving.
Back-to-back games now, right?
All-time yards, yeah. 78 yards, 8 receiving, 2 TDs.
Again, it's surprising how early he's doing it, but both Jaden Daniels and Neighbors were at LSU teammates. They're not doing anything that they didn't do at in college at LSU. So I'm not as shocked, I think, as NFL player or as NFL fans if they don't watch college. But hey, starting off good. That's good. That's great. You know, that's what you expect from top 5 picks at any position at specifically this one between the quarterbacks and the wide receivers.
Hell yeah.
They got picked up there for a reason, right?
They did. All right, moving up. Rashee Rice. I kind of just hate that he's still on there. I had to play Corey this week as well. Mr. It's Me Waluigi in the chat. Screw that guy. I really hate that I can't see my chat right now, too. It is what it is. He had 110 yards, 12 receptions, 1 TD. Went 12 for 14. 1 for 1 on his rushing. He had a yard for 1 attempt. And he is also sitting at 29.1. We had Malik Neighbors at 28.2 and Jaden Daniels at 28.6. Those are all through ESPN's fantasy football. That's what I'm going through for our season this year. I don't know. I see it. I don't like it. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. Kansas City start losing. I hate it. Jamar Chase started playing again.
Went off. Finally, it's about goddamn time. I have him in my fantasy, drafted him pretty high, so I'm glad he's starting to go off.
That's really tough for a guy that doesn't want to be there that long.
Yeah, there's a whole drama there too. There's stuff from the off season where they promised that they would talk to him and work a deal, but they're not kind of holding their word. They're not really negotiating. Yeah, I love sports drama. I think, especially when there's nothing on or there's very minimal sport, like in the off season, like that whole thing with Trent Williams and the one with Ayuk got a little boring because they never really went anywhere. Same with Trent a little bit, and it ended up. And I think Ayuk signed for what they originally were offering him 4 months ago. Anyway, but other than that, yeah, like the drama with Hassan Reddick, I love. That's my kind of drama. That's my kind of like telenovela or Bachelorette, just like reality TV, sports drama. Anyway, getting off topic.
He said anyone that's got to pay millions of dollars just to sit down.
Yeah. So
Rashee Rice had a good game. Jamar Chase had a great game. Dak Prescott did have a great game.
So
scrambling.
So I do want to talk to you about this because I think that was interesting, and I know we got to keep kind of moving. But this game I want to slow down on and talk about. What do you think? Did you see any of that game?
I wasn't able to see that much. I just saw the score as it started, and I was like, oh sheesh! Like,
and then you saw the final score?
Yeah, I was like, oh, because I was like, oh yeah, that's Dallas.
Yeah, it was. I don't know who. Like, obviously, Dallas lost the game, but, like, who really lost the game? Because
I think...
Was it Baltimore's defense that...
I didn't really get to see.
Was it Baltimore's defense because they allowed them to come back into it? Did the Dallas offense really step up and just decide, we're sick of this, we're going to step up? I wonder what really gave there. The Dallas offense went up or the Baltimore D got complacent?
I think a little bit of both. Because when you're ahead by so much too,
but you got to know who you're playing. Even though they were getting their ass kicked, that is a high-powered offense. you give an inch, they will take a mile. And Baltimore saw it, they saw. I mean, Baltimore saw it up front. It almost happened. One of the biggest comebacks. That would have been crazy.
And that's what's wild about the end of a game. How the Niners lost theirs and should have won. It is what it is. But that point where it comes down to desperation and it comes down to really executing, and I think it really shows on how the freaking Dallas Cowboys don't have to, or it could be in the fatigue of the defense maybe, but they didn't have to do anything too fancy. Just gotta do what they normally do, and I guess it was just on a higher tempo, and they were able to really march and get down. Defense having stops really helps as well, being able to chase that margin back. Otherwise, if Lamar Jackson gets the ball again, he just puts up another 7. What's the point of trying to chase and when you're already so down?
Yeah.
So I feel like Lamar and them either got complacent or just as well as Lamar said, they took their foot off the gas. He's like, I thought, when we were up a little bit, we should have just kept, killing them.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on. We got one more? Or
we have 5 more.
5 more.
Yeah, buddy. Look at that. Number 5 is going to be some Derek Henry. And he had a solid game. I think a lot of people are half Derrick Henry putting up points for them.
Oh yeah, he ran. He ran
4 yards, 1 reception, random, 3 tuds, 151 for 25.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry in that game.
Wait, he had an interception. Wait. What?
You're not. No. What? Bud?
What? I thought you said 1 interception.
1 reception.
A reception. Oh, okay. I was about to say I don't think I saw him play defense. He'd be a beast of a linebacker. So I mean, put him in some special package on that defense. Get him an INT. Fucking that'd be legit.
Oh man.
Andy Reid would do some shit like that if he had Derrick Henry.
I think it makes sense the way that it's playing out. I will hold my breath. I don't want to, but I feel like there will be an expiration date for Derrick Henry. But
what do you mean? That's pretty general. Of course, I mean we're all gonna die. But
well, that's not what I mean.
Okay, but I mean I know career. I mean, what do you mean an expiration? Like elaborate on that a little bit more.
Homie's gonna be
age-wise, career-wise.
Something's gonna change, man.
Oh, okay, something like that. Okay. And for the better or for the worse? What I mean, do you think he's still gonna?
He gonna get injured. I just so he can be without much of a workhorse and have that body, and so better be careful if they're gonna really use him. I don't know. Same thing with Josh Allen, man. Josh Allen putting up 307, 23 receptions, 2 touchdowns.
He destroyed fucking Jacksonville.
6 times.
Destroyed him.
For 44 yards, like crazy from a QB. Got 30.92 points in fantasy. It's just one of those things that, he keeps repeating for one. Homeboy's there, showing up, killing it, putting the game on his back. Defense is holding as well. Jacksonville just shows that they're dog water.
Yeah, that's nothing new. When they went in the half, I still did. They're a different team when they played the Chargers in the playoffs when they made that comeback at halftime.
Yeah,
but I still thought that at halftime that a miracle could still happen because they've shown it before in a playoff game. But that went from bad to badder to worse.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Speaking of batter,
now the other game on the other hand that night that was some football. That was a high quality, high scoring. That's some good football.
Yeah, that was wild. Oh, past years. I can't wait till December rolls around again. Kyron Williams, running back, ran over the Niners, 118 yards, 2 receptions for 2 TDs. Fuck off. 24 for 89. He got 24 touches, 89 yards. I don't think that's a good ratio. 2 for 2 on receptions. GG's. GG's. You're not even that cool, man. You're not even that cool. You guys aren't even that cool. Okay. It's not even cool. All right.